New homes, new opportunities, a new beginning. Among them was Governor John White, the man chosen to lead the colony. Traveling with him was his daughter, Eleanor Dare. Shortly after arriving, she gave birth to a baby girl. Her name was Virginia Dare. She became the first English child ever born in North America. For a brief moment, everything seemed hopeful. The settlers believed they had finally found a place they could call home. But hope would soon turn into fear. The land was unfamiliar. Food supplies were running dangerously low. The colonists struggled to grow crops. Relations with nearby Native American tribes became increasingly uncertain. Winter was approaching, and survival became less certain with each passing day. The colony desperately needed supplies from England. There was only one solution. Governor John White would sail back to England, collect food, medicine, tools, and more settlers. Before returning as quickly as possible, leaving his family behind was the hardest decision of his life. Before boarding the ship, he promised everyone, "I will return soon." None of them knew it would be the last time they would ever see him. The 3-year delay, John White believed, he would return within a few months. His mission was simple: sail back to England, collect supplies, return to Roanoke. But history had other plans. Shortly after White reached England, war broke out. England was preparing to defend itself against the mighty Spanish Armada. Every available ship was taken for military service. No civilian ships were allowed to sail. White begged the government again and again. He asked for permission to return, but every request was denied. Days became weeks, weeks became months, months became years. Meanwhile, the people of Roanoke waited. Their food supplies continued to disappear. Their hopes slowly faded. Every sunrise, they looked toward the sea, waiting for ships that never came. Nearly 3 years passed. Finally, in August of 1590, John White managed to secure a ship. At last, he was going home. But deep inside, he feared he might already be too late. The empty colony as White's ship approached Roanoke Island, something felt wrong. The island was silent. There was no smoke rising from cooking fires, no children running along the shore, no voices, no movement, nothing. White rushed onto the island. His heart raced. He expected to find frightened survivors. Instead, he found absolutely no one. The entire colony had vanished. Every house was empty. Many buildings had been carefully dismantled. The wooden fort had disappeared. But what shocked White the most was what he didn't find. No bodies, no graves, no broken weapons, no blood, no signs of a battle, no evidence of panic. It looked as if the settlers had simply walked away. The only clue. Then, White noticed something strange. Carved into a wooden fence post was a single word: Croatoan. Nearby, the letters Crow were carved into the trunk of a tree years earlier. Before leaving England, White and the settlers had agreed on a secret plan. If the colony ever moved, they would carve the name of their new location. If they were forced to leave because of danger, they would also carve the shape of a cross. White searched carefully. There was no cross, only the word Croatoan. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island. It was home to a Native American tribe that had once been friendly with the English settlers. For a brief moment, White felt hope. Maybe the colony had survived. Maybe they had simply moved. But before he could investigate, nature intervened once again. Dark clouds covered the sky. Powerful winds crashed against the coast. A violent storm forced White's ship to leave immediately. The captain refused to stay. Despite White's desperate pleas, the ship sailed away. He never returned to Roanoke. He never found his daughter. He never found his granddaughter. And he never discovered what happened to the lost colony. The theories for more than 400 years. Historians, archaeologists, and investigators have searched for the truth, but no one has ever found a definite answer. One theory suggests the settlers joined the Croatoan tribe. Some historians believe the colonists were welcomed by friendly Native Americans. Over time, they may have adopted new customs, learned new languages, and slowly became part of the local community. Several early reports even describe Native Americans, who appeared to have European features and spoke a few English words. Could they have been descendants of the lost colony? No one knows. Another theory suggests the colony simply couldn't survive. Food was scarce, disease was common, the harsh wilderness may have claimed every life. Others believe the settlers were attacked. Conflict between European settlers and local tribes was becoming increasingly common. If violence occurred, perhaps time erased the evidence. Then there are the more mysterious theories. Some believe Spanish soldiers secretly destroyed the colony to prevent England from expanding into the New World. Others point toward ancient legends, lost civilizations, or even supernatural forces. Over the centuries, the mystery has inspired countless books, movies, documentaries, and legends. But despite every theory, none have ever been proven. The search continues for centuries. Archaeologists have searched Roanoke Island. Ancient tools, pieces of pottery, weapons, coins, and fragments of buildings have all been discovered. Old maps have been carefully re-examined. Modern technology, including ground-penetrating radar, DNA research, and advanced archaeological techniques, has helped uncover new clues. Yet, the single question that matters most still has no answer. What happened to the lost colony? Even today, researchers continue searching, hoping that one forgotten artifact, one hidden document, or one unexpected discovery will finally solve the mystery. Why the mystery still lives, modern historians believe. The most likely explanation is that the settlers moved inland or joined friendly Native American communities. But without undeniable evidence, the mystery remains unsolved, because sometimes history doesn't leave behind answers, only questions. And whenever history leaves unanswered questions, the human imagination begins to fill in the blanks. That is why, more than 4 centuries later, the lost colony of Roanoke continues to fascinate millions of people around the world. Did the settlers survive and begin a new life among the Croatoan people? Did disease, starvation, or conflict bring the colony to an end? Or does the truth still lie buried beneath the forests of North Carolina, waiting to be discovered? Perhaps, one day, history will finally reveal what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke. Until then, it remains one of the oldest and greatest unsolved mysteries in history. What do you think happened? Did the colonists survive, or did they disappear forever? Tell us your theory in the comments below. If you enjoy unsolved mysteries, forgotten history, and real-life disappearances, subscribe to the Mystery Vault, because behind every mystery, there is a story.